We are live this morning. Okay. Good morning, friends, and good morning, Ancient Oaks. Glad you're able to tune in this morning or whenever you do find time to get here. I just started the live, and I see I don't have anybody join me yet. It's hopefully people will start joining fairly soon. And of course, we have many people catch it on the replay. Um, and if you can, if we mentioned it many other times with the in the park and that, uh, if to catch it on the replay, tell those that may not watch it very often to watch it on the replay. There's a lot of information we give out here, and we try getting out every other method of getting it out. But a lot of this week has been a bit prime example. There's people come in and said that they never knew that we were canceling our Comcast contract. They come in and out. They maybe get the mail, but when they get the mail, they get their nose down looking at their what they have and don't see our notices. And just really would help if people try to pay attention to notices or come in on this and try to get the information out. So encourage others to watch the replays if they can't watch me live. I know it's a time of day. It's not really conducive to everybody being able to watch live, but to catch the replays, to get caught up on information. I'm going to move stuff around just a tiny bit here. So good morning, Sig. And we have 13 people on. Don't forget to hit the like button. That helps the algorithm for Facebook to push it out to all other people connected to Ancient Oaks on the Facebook page. And also, if you have a post, I'm still trying to figure out how come people can't post to the Ancient Oaks Facebook page. But you can, when you do a post, you can tag Ancient Oaks if you've liked the page, and then that will put it up on our page. So don't forget to do that. We encourage you to do that. Make this a community channel for exchanging stuff. Just be positive and good stuff being put on there. But watch also for the announcements that we put on, like when we had the pool closed or the pool open and that kind of stuff. I do want to thank Chris and Francisco for their effort on. Very quickly, we got the pool down, and then Ron's pre-plum, along with Tammy, from the office, helping him take care of getting the new handrails in. Great addition to the pool. So all those kind of notices are on the Facebook page, and of course, this is live there. There is a YouTube channel also. If they're not on Facebook, they can. Most everybody can watch YouTube videos. So we are also broadcast this on Ancient Oaks YouTube channel. All right. As you might have noticed from the announcement for this Facebook, for the live this morning, I had the clocks on there. Coming up this Sunday is the time change. We're going to go to daylight savings on Sunday. So remember that. Set your clocks ahead. If you go to church and you don't set your clocks ahead, I guess, let's see. Right now it would be 11 o'clock. So yeah, spring forward. So actually, you move the clocks ahead. So yeah, it'd be 11 o'clock. So you'd be an hour late to church because everybody else was going to have moved the clocks ahead. And if you're on regular time, you would be an hour late for church. So remember to push your clocks ahead Saturday night. And spring forward, you fall back, I guess you'd be early, wouldn't you? Anyway, there we go. Time change Sunday. Get that. Another thing that we've come up with again, feeding alligators. Make sure everybody knows that do not feed the wildlife. Do not feed the ducks down by the water because that also is going to attract alligators. and they will start associating seeing people next to the shore that there's food available. And we had this is was it 2 weeks ago now? Some lady was walking her dog next to a body of water in whatever park she was in. One, do not walk a small dog next to the water. Uh, Gators, that's what they see a small animal, that's food for them. So do not walk a small dog. And it's really not a good idea to walk any dog, sorry about that, uh, next to a body of water. Like I said, alligators, doesn't matter if it's a tiny dog or bigger dog, they will associate that with an animal and it's food for them. So don't do that. Don't put yourself in danger. Don't feed ducks in the water because there's alligators around. That's food for them also, and they will want to share in that. And especially, do not feed alligators. If the alligator gets used to human and seeing food, then that makes it a dangerous alligator and it will have to be removed. Feeding an alligator basically puts a death sentence on it because it goes to an alligator farm, and alligator farms are for raising food, not not a zoo where they get to live out their lives. So do not feed the alligators or the ducks in any way, shape, or form. Please, it's dangerous for you and then for everybody else because you put others at risk. And it is against the law. Of course, it's against our park rules too. We don't have it in our rules, but we want to enforce the Florida law of not feeding wildlife. Okay. Something else that is going on, another next step with Blue Stream. I'm getting a little raspy here. They are continuing on putting in their little stands that they have and working at getting all the, with everybody getting their wires over to your unit. There are about 30 of what we call lots that have RVs that go in and out that have pedestals that we will have to put an outlet on. Contact the electrician, and we will be having an electrician have to put outlets into those pedestals. So that'll have to be done. And there are about 90 pedestals that will get what is called the clamshell. That outlet has to power the clamshell, and that will hold the unit that provides you with TV service to the inside of your RV. There will be more information as they get those installed when they start registering people, and they're hoping for that to be in a short amount of time. And speaking of Blue Stream, I have not heard yet of anybody receiving their Blue Stream check. If you do, go ahead and post it on the page or let us know that you did get it. And then that way we will know that if you did get yours, that others are not getting theirs, that they'll either come to the office or we'll find out what happened with that Blue Stream check. And along with that, on Saturday, Comcast, Moo, everybody knows Moo, and I think I put this out on Facebook because he's not on Facebook. Nobody really knows. Not many people know Moo's actual name, so he told me he got that in college when he went to college, and that's he's gone by Moo ever since then. But anyway, he had done and contacted Comcast ahead of time and had thought he had everything set up, and actually he did. And the first day of the being shut off, that last that was the 28th or so, they did shut off his one of his boxes, but he didn't have the other one plugged in, and he only needed one at the time. So I switched them, and when I switched them and plugged that other one in, it was still active. Well, that worked till Saturday morning, and Comcast, in their infinite wisdom, shut that one off, even though he had an account and it was working, or Comcast Xfinity, and it was working just fine. When I think he tried calling them and didn't get anywhere because it was the second call to them. and they said something was the matter with his account and all that. And I understand it's sometimes hard to understand when you're calling in and figuring out what they're talking about. Just wondering what truck is sitting out there. I'm sorry. So when we called, I was here on the pool, working with the pool, and he called and said it's down. So I figured Mo's a big help, been great big help to the community here for years and years. Served on the board years ago, and on the shuffleboard and all that. And he keeps track of a lot of stuff. So I had the time. I went down Saturday and I made the call for him. And when I got called in to the person, they took an extreme amount of time to tell me that that he has the account is taken care of, but because of the change or whatever, that they shut off the boxes because he had to get new boxes. And I proceeded to tell her that no, he did not need new boxes. Those DTA boxes were working just fine, and they need to turn them back on, or she needs to push me up to somebody who can. Otherwise, the park will get our lawyer involved, because that is what was supposed to happen. We talked to executives at Bluestream and Convert Services, where the Convert Services guy is the one that negotiates contracts for places like ours with all the suppliers, all the providers, including Xfinity. And he knew that was not the case when we talked to him last week, when people were being told that they had to exchange their boxes. So if you call, and the end result was, she pushed me up to somebody and told them the situation, that they needed to turn them on. They're only going to need them for possibly 2, 3, or 4 months, that he did not need to exchange his boxes. He turned them back on, and before I got off the phone call, because I had to go out, my battery's dying on my phone, so I had to plug it in my truck. Moo doesn't have any chargers on the inside of his house. And before I got back inside, his boxes were back working. So don't let Comcast try to make you make a trip over to the coast to take your boxes in and get new boxes. You do not need new boxes for the short period of time that you have to go month to month with Comcast. Okay, that's on the Bluestream. So go from there. I won't belabor the point. You can watch this on replay and play it over again, or contact me if you're having problems with the Comcast. But just be prepared to be not rude to the people, but be forceful, saying if they're telling you they can't turn the boxes on, tell them full and well they can, and they have to, because they do not need to switch boxes if you don't have HD programming. Now, if you want HD programming, you already got the other box, so deal with that as you wish, but that's the thing there. Let's see. Oh, there was a question about insurance on the. We've had a few. Very, very many people are dealing with homeowners insurance on your units. Florida, because of the hurricanes and the climate of the insurance industry, as far as they're saying that they want to reduce the risk of exposure in Florida. So a lot of them are cutting back how many people they insure in Florida, because I know I had heard that a significant amount of insurers went under from this last hurricane. Okay, we got quite a few people on here. Like I said, don't forget to hit the like button. Looks like I got 10 likes, but 23 people on. Then we got Brian and Terry and Kim Casanova and Pam Tucker. Thank you, all you guys didn't see the comments. So good morning. All righty. Rules and regulations. We do have in our rules and regulations, part 567, on our liability, our rules do state that your unit must be fully insured. I'm going to have to sneeze here. Oh, boy. Sorry about that. Pollen in the air here in Okeechobee, Florida, the entire state of Florida. this time of year. So that's where it states it in the rules. Some people wonder if we had that, and yes, we do. It's in the rules and regulations, part 7, under liability, and line D. Okay, that's that one. Our ballots. We have a ballot out. We have a budget meeting on March 29th, and we also had the ballot. The ballots have been handed out, passed out, and mailed in plenty of time. The state 718 says we have to give 14 days. That to make them available 14 days ahead of time, but that we had them almost 30 days ahead of time, 29, and we sent them out 21 days in advance, so plenty of time. When you get it, we don't have a secret envelope on this ballot. When you send it back over the next set, this part will be on the back flap so that it doesn't get covered. But usually where the return address is, that is where you need to put your block and lot, and then sign and print it. You should know your block and lot by now. If nothing else, put your address in there. If you cannot come up with it, everybody should know the block and lot because that's a unique identifier to your account. You tell the office which block and lot is. There's only you. If you give us your street address, 6615, there's 5 of them in here and all that. So anyway, next time we print these, they're going to be printed on the back. So if you have to send it through the mail, put your actual return address below that, but fill that out and turn it into our ballot box, and we will start counting them March 29th in the morning. It is not a secret ballot. On the inside, you're supposed to also sign it, and I can't remember now. I didn't bring one in here. Place your address. Because we'll need to verify this. I know there's a couple that put in. I saw one come through. They put it in the outside mail slot. And so I did put it in the mailbox. Well, they didn't fill this part out. We will be able to open it and if we could verify it with there only 1 vote per lot. Okay, somebody was questioning whether or not if you have multiple ballots how you would make sure that it didn't double vote. We will have a sheet with a full listing of 686 lots and the owner of that resident, and we will verify each ballot, 1 ballot per lot. So there's no ballot harvesting. Somebody been able to put in extra votes or whatever. But when we open it up, we can verify that is a valid vote. We have sheets. If you want to come see the process, you're welcome to. Virginia Larkin, Jenny Larkin is heading up the count committee, and we'll have plenty of ladies there that help us count. And you can watch us, but each one will be verified, so there won't be any double voting or votes thrown out, because if we can verify by the process that those people it's a valid vote, it will be counted. Okay, that is on the ballots. But just to let you know, so a lot of people may not know, we had a couple deaths recently. William Ramsey passed away. He lived on block 3, lot 4. He passed away. And many of you know the family asked for us not to give out details. So to honor that wish, I can't be giving out details. But our employee, Adam White, did pass away last week on Tuesday night. Let's see, I have to look that up again. Or on looks like it was February 28th. I don't have the thing in front of me, but Adam passed away, and the funeral was yesterday, and it's a sad time. And but the family asked us not to provide details. Okay, so on that. But he was well liked. He was a young man that just, you know, uh, was coming along and needed some help. And he was a good worker, but just on his personal life, he needed a little bit of help. But anyway, we have a box here in the office for donations for his mom. Being he was young, I doubt that he had life insurance, and so therefore, for to help her mom with the expenses, there is a box in the office that you can donate. We'll leave it up for one more week. We'll leave it up next week. I'm looking up at the calendar, so probably by the 18th we will uh, take that box down and give and then take the money to her. Okay. Did the Feeding Wildlife time change? I didn't go through the events yet. Let's do the events. Let's see. March 11th, we have Elvis, A Night with Elvis by Jeff Korn coming in at 7 to 9. Let's see what there's my instructions of what to say here. Come out and enjoy the last concert of the season. Put on your blue suede shoes and enjoy some good old Elvis music. Jeff Gordon is a national touring Elvis impersonator, and he'll be in the building. Put on a great show tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Don't be lonesome tonight or have suspicious minds and miss this concert. Okay, titles of a couple of his songs. We all probably know that. There may be some young people that would wonder what we're talking about there. Tickets will be on sale Saturday at breakfast or at the door. Yeah, today's Friday, so the last chance to get them. Saturday breakfast at the door. And if you didn't catch it, the little bit of a reel that I put up on from last Saturday, folks were having fun at the breakfast. So y'all catch that. I think I didn't look at the stats recently, but it got over 3,000 plays. People liked watching that. That's a good thing to put on. Also, the next day, Saturday, March 18th, starting at 1 p.m. at Ancient Oaks Honor Day at the clubhouse. This was a popular event last year. Free lunch for veterans. Others can buy lunch for $5. At lunchtime, they're honoring the veterans living in the park, and they also be collecting donations for the veterans of foreign wars post 10539. There will also be a poker run around the park following the recognition of the veterans. Participants, I'm getting stuck in words this morning, aren't I? Participants can walk, bike, or take the golf cart to the 5 stops located in the park. And it gives person with the best hand wins. So we encourage everyone to decorate your golf carts in patriotic theme for the Honor Day event. All right. Sorry about that. I meant to remove the Honor Day, and it didn't happen. Okay, I'm back. I forget how much I removed. I need to remove the Honor Day. I removed myself and also my audio. I'm back, and I assume you can hear me. I don't have the warning that you don't. I can't see my audio button going up and down. Sorry about that. Don't forget, you have the Acorn available online. The calendar is in the aoaks.net, and it's there. You can pick up a copy of the Acorn at the office. There is a copy in the library to peruse, but leave there. Of course, it costs for the ones if you want to get the one from the office. It does cost. Or you can go online and we can email it to you. You request it, we'll email it to you, and you can have it on your computer in full color and print it yourself. Printing costs have gotten quite expensive lately, as with everything else. So we had to go with the charging for the Acorn. Ian and Terry put together a very fine publication, but along with that, because it includes so much stuff, it is rather lengthy, and so therefore it does cost. Okay, we had an incident. If you have a guest, well, we had one person who had a guest caretaker, and through some circumstances, I don't know the whole thing because I don't want to get, well, I won't mention any names, but the caretaker was accused of taking money and then was asked to leave, which is fine. Great, get them gone. Don't forget to tell us at the office that you no longer have that person staying with you. You no longer have that guest, and he was missing his gate card. We found that that person was accessing the park and still going down to the pool. So you have somebody like that, whatever, let us know so we can kind of maintain some semblance of a gated park by not allowing people in that should not be in here. You have, any situation, you got guests coming in, guests leaving, that especially if it's a long term one, we should know about it. Let the office know. Um, Hopefully, I won't take up too much more time. Another thing that was brought to my mind, brought to me about what was happening. Um, I'm a former smoker, so I know I did the same thing when I smoked maybe this is almost it's over 40 years ago now, 40, almost 45, something like that. You had no consideration where your butts are going when you threw them out. And now that I've quit smoking and in charge of people that have to pick up butts, or in fact, for a while I was doing also quite a few years doing it myself. Those butts do not deteriorate. That is littering. You throw your butt on the ground, that is littering. Somebody has to pick it up to make the place look good. I don't want my maintenance people to have to do that. If you smoke, please carry a cigarette ashtray, some way of disposing them properly with you so that there are no cigarette butts tossed on the ground. I think at least a couple people have been, when I've seen them, they tossed them on the ground. I made them go back and pick them up because that is littering. You're not allowed to do that. I guess somebody, yeah, the person that told me about this said they went around and I think it was the dog park, and they picked up almost 200 cigarette butts because that's a good spot to be sitting and spending some time. If you're a smoker, you need to carry a method of, you carry your cigarette pack with you. You got to carry another item with you to collect your butts in. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. Take care of your butts. All right. Along with that, there's been raised concerns. It's not in the rules about running your dog with the golf cart. Personally, I don't see much harm in it, but it does scare me because I know my son had we had a gator when we were living next door at the Awesome Self Storage, and he had his lab running with the golf cart, and he got under the wheel and skinned up his leg pretty bad and could have been worse. That's my concern with running your dog with the golf cart. Be very careful, very safe. Don't have too long a leash so that the dog can get too far away and across the road. Don't do it at night when people won't be able to see your dog if they're driving a car. And like I said, make sure your leash is the proper length, that far enough away from your golf cart, but not too far to cause a problem. There is no rules after that, but safe behavior can always be, what do you call, enforced. Safe behavior can be enforced. Okay. Oh, on a good note here, really nice note. Monday, and we didn't get to do anything special for her yet. And I don't know if Tammy's going to catch my live. She gets all my information pretty much firsthand. She's celebrated her 7-year anniversary with the park. Tammy's been here 7 years. And also yesterday, Thursday, was Francisco's birthday. Just a couple things to mention. And I assume I'm still alive. I'm not getting any more comments. So anyway, no more likes. I sure hope I'm not talking to myself. All right. And a little note to pass on. A long time ago, and I'd contacted this person a couple times, but as we all know, packages are a big um, deal coming in with everybody, myself included, ordering a lot more stuff online than going to the stores. And they came in and they came in and because they were wanting to set up a way where their truck would have a way of opening the gate, especially on times when we weren't here. And then they had to get permission to install something. This person, Don, our president, asked me about if we had heard anything. So I gave her a call this morning, and she's going to push it up to her manager again, asking a question. And if that happens, that'll be very nice that the packages from Amazon would be delivered directly to your door and not delivered to the office. So that may happen. Not for sure. I checked with her and haven't got the email back, but that could happen. All right. Package info. That was the last one. Tammy's here 7 years. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. Okay. The cigarette butts. Congratulations, Tammy. Yep. I'm live. All right. So I'm still here and still alive. I didn't accidentally cut myself off. All righty. I didn't see any questions. Remember, get your ballot back in. Turn it upside down. Get your ballot back in. Fill in this information. If you don't know your block and lot, call us. We'll let you know. Call us, email us, contact us. We will have the voting on this the 29th. On the budget is also the budget meeting on the 29th. That is where the board will vote to adopt the budget. We've given the budget to everybody to look at, to put in there. Jackie. Okay, just a second, Jackie. I'll get to that. The board will vote on the budget on that budget meeting. Okay. The ballots we will open up, and if we have enough to pass, then we'll close the balloting. But the board has the option on this day that we can hold these ballots, this ballot initiative, or whatever you want to call it, open for 90 days to continue to pull ballots in, and then have another meeting to count those ballots that have come in. And very likely, if folks have not sent their ballot, because we'll know, because like I said, we'll be counting and verifying each ballot. If they have not voted, you have a good chance that we will contact you and ask you to send your ballot. I didn't mention that, Jackie. I forgot to say that she asked, what are the TVs in the mailrooms all about? Part of the Blue Stream is I'm trying to search for the word. We will have a community channel, access to a community channel that we will control and be able to put stuff on. Victoria probably will have the job of putting stuff on it because it will be done on daily, hourly basis that we can put on it. So we will have a community channel, just like you go to a hotel and, put it on, it rolls through all the stuff you can see. So we will have that community channel. Those TVs in the mail rooms, I'm going to tune to that community channel. So if you go to the mail room, you should see all the announcements that we will be able to put on that community channel. Events coming up, important announcements, trying to reduce the excuse of people saying they didn't know that was happening or didn't know that was coming up. So those are TVs that I think I rescued from the Green Mall back. and they work, but apparently people got, those are like 19 or 20, and people went up to the 55 and 72-inch TVs, and that's where they are. So I talked to the Bluestream people and said, yeah, I want those. I want a adapter for those because those will be tuned to the community channel and rolling in there. And so when you come up and get your mail, please take a look, watch that. If you don't watch it at home, see that community channel. Also, when you, I guess I haven't mentioned it. Yes, when you leave, once it might not happen this year because not everybody's going to get registered before you leave. When you register with Bluestream Fiber, you should be able to get a passcode to get in. If you have internet where you're at with your phone, iPad, I don't know, I think even a computer, you'll be able to access your Bluestream account remotely and watch all the channels that we provide here remotely and also the community channel. So that will be available to you. But get on the dial my calls, especially your email. We will send out emails, quarterly payments when quarterly payments will be due. We will send out emails, any other special thing going on. If we happen to have a board meeting during the summer, can be notified by the email of it because we'll put it on the Facebook page. But not always do you get notified, and it's easy for stuff on the Facebook page and roll past you not even see it, especially if you don't go to the Facebook page very often while you're gone. That way, you will get notifications. Get on the dial my calls, text, email, and phone calls. I try to limit the phone calls because many times with the phone calls, if you don't catch it, it might go to your voicemail. I know I've gotten voicemails 2 weeks after it happened and all that. So there we go on that. Get on the dial my calls. TV's are going to be community channel. That way you can be kept informed of what's happening here in Ancient Oaks. And then Terry said, dog leash on residence property. That came about because as we have had other residents, there were several residents that were tying their dogs out. And so as most every time when there's a complaint, I double check the rules, make sure that I understand it correctly. And I found out on our rules, and of course this is applied to them and then anyone else, our rules say that you cannot tie a leash, a pet leash, to anything, period. It has to be in your hand, I guess. They don't say it has to be in your hand, but you're not to tie the leash to an object, to your house, to a car. That is what the rules say. And I guess that's basically to make sure, because there's few people that were tying their dogs outside. You can't kennel your dog outside, can't kennel your pet outside. That's against the rules. And to make sure that doesn't get kind of slipped by, the original rules say that you have to have your dog on a leash if it's outside. No matter what you're doing outside, the dog has to be on a leash. And you have to be outside with your pet. They cannot be unattended outside. And they also cannot be tied outside, even while you're there. That's what the rule does say. How does one have the pet outside with them? Then they have to be on a leash, and you have to have the someone has to be basically holding the leash. So I'll use that when the pet's on leash. I hope that answers the question. That's if you want to look up the rules on the pets, it's easily available. But yeah, you're not allowed to tie them out. So if you got a ring on the ground, a ring on I know my RV has a tie out installed on it, pet friendly, and has a tie out installed on it. Which, and I see Terry, revisit this. That's fine. It's just my job as manager is not to make the rules, but to see that they're followed in a fair. And I try to be pragmatic about it. Doesn't matter if you're my favorite buddy or I don't. I have never met you or rarely have met you in here. Um, rule's the rule, and if I know that you're breaking it, then I have to remind you of it and I always try to do it in a nice way. I understand, may not have seen that rule, forgotten about it. There's, I had to remind you for very long time residents that that rule was in there because it'd be very easy while you're there. And I did it with my dogs the other day. I let them, I have a fenced in backyard at home. I don't have to abide by this rule because I don't live in the park. I let my dogs out. I brought two in. I have four dogs. And brought two in. I forgot about the other dogs. They were still outside. So I left them out and they were outside by themselves, and which was isn't really good. And so it's to make sure that the dogs are not outside loose, especially as tight as we live. I assume is to make sure that nobody gets hurt on that. And you don't forget them during the hot part of the day. They don't have water or something. So that is the reason. If there's wants to be some change on that, the board, I believe, on the rules and regulations, the board can make the change with a vote at a board meeting. So that can be done that way, but make it something so it's easily followed. I want to say, if somebody has an idea on that and language, I guess you're welcome to present it to the board. Oh, speaking of presenting to the board, I did get a letter about the handicap doors, and we are working on that. And be aware, as ever we all know, that Siri, Alexa is always listening in. I talked about this letter, and the next thing you know, I'm getting ads for handicap openings, openers on doors through emails and whatnot. But we are working on it. I'm looking at it again. In fact, I got somebody coming in today, uh, once again, to talk about the doors and see what we can do about getting handicap access doors. It's not cheap because you want it to work every time, all time. Don't want to expect it to work and then it not work. So, but we are working with that. And on that, person did say something about, oh, we could use money uh, from some other thing in reserves. And unfortunately, reserve money, if it's put into reserve into an account, it can only be used for that purpose. If you put it into roof repair, it can only go to roof. We have 3 years ago, they did do a reserve study. Part has been done, but it's all working out between the treasurer and the board about how much we put in. Of course, any reserve study says you should have a lot more in reserves than what we actually do. So, we can. The only thing is that if we fully fund a reserve account, then before we put the money in, we can either start a new one or not. I guess as we coming into the budget year, any excess money I would like to see put in reserves. If we have extra money, we fund another account. The clubhouse is one, and this is where for the doors we can use the clubhouse repair. That is a repair item, and that can be done and taken care of there. So, but we will go forward very adamantly. We will try getting the handicap doors for the entrance doors, and it was mentioned about bathroom doors. So we'll see what we can do with that. We might not get them all done at once, but we are moving forward on that. Okay, that was the letters on that. But reserves are pretty strict, and it's just protect the park, protect the money in the reserve accounts. You wouldn't want somebody draining one reserve account and then something happened, and then you needed it and the money's not there and you can't pull it from somewhere else. So, all right. Unless I got any more questions, I think I've covered all the questions. Yeah. A few more people on there. Remember to hit the like button. We got a few people that haven't done that yet. Easy to do. Hit the like. All right. Okay. You're welcome, Janice. Like I said, we're trying to keep up. I may have only 30 here, but I know when I look back on the insights, sometimes these lives get almost 600 views. They might not get watched all the way through. That's why I try not to go too long. And we've already gone 45 minutes. Oh, and you people watching, not so much on Facebook, we watch on YouTube. There's a thing called a speed controller that when I watch something on YouTube, I can speed, because you try skipping over stuff, you might miss something. But you can comprehend a lot faster than what people can speak. And I have a speed controller, and I usually bump it up to about 130%, and I get through videos a lot quicker if I want to get information of being able to watch them without, the time constraint. So if you need that, but you can Google that, and I believe it's called Speed Controller or Speed something or other, video speed, and it's a little lot, and I can go up and even streaming movies. I found that out. I don't know how many you've got Paramount Plus or whatever like that. They got commercials you got to watch. You can't skip past them. And I can go up to my speed controller and I can go at double speed and I get to my commercials twice as fast. Yet you still see what it's about, just that they're, talking. But depends how fast you move it up. But like I said, you can comprehend faster. So you get speed controller and you can speed up videos as you're watching them. And those sound a little bit like Mickey Mouse at sometimes, but gets through your videos faster and you don't lose information. All right, that's what I use. I don't remember if they work on the Facebook videos or not, but I know they work on the YouTube videos. And like I said, this is on YouTube also. Ancient Oaks YouTube page. All right, that is good. It looks like we got a good weekend coming up. I have to pressure wash my house. There's a few people in here that could also use their houses pressure wash. Remember to get that done. Prepare for when you leave. Remember, tie everything down, prepare for Cat 5 hurricane that's going to hit us. That way you don't have to have somebody come put your stuff away while you're gone, and we don't have parts of your outside decorations flying around the park and being a missile during a hurricane. Have that in mind with everything that you do during the season while you're here. You have landscaping. Make sure it gets taken care of while you're not here, so we don't have turn into a look like a abandoned park. And have every so often have your place pressure washed so that it stays clean. And let's see. Well, I guess Chris must use the speed controller too. I can slow it down as well and listen at a slow pace. So you can do both. Speed it up, slow it down. It's really pretty handy. And yeah, I've used the slow down part too. Somebody said something really fast at normal speed, and I wanted to go back and see what it was, and you can slow it down to 1/10 speed. It's a handy little gadget, little widget that you can put on your computer or put on the videos. All right. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the weather while you're here. I know up north they're getting hit again. But we're enjoying our nice weather down here. And I will catch you on the next one. Meantime, live long and prosper, and we'll see you the next time.